So what's up, Chris? How are you?
Life is good.
Life is good. Tell us why life is good.
Busy weekend.
Busy?
We're going to start filming our next short film.
Mm-hmm.
Going to be out in the weather all weekend.
Whereabouts? Anywhere in particular?
We're going to be over around Stott's Diner.
Oh, in the tundra.
Tomorrow.
Wow.
And up in Mohegan Park come Sunday.
I know you were looking at a place up in Norwich that you wanted to, or in Lisbon that you wanted to film in. Did you find any contact information for people up there?
Nope.
Nothing, huh?
Nope.
Then just, do it.
Just show up, and when the cops come, they'll tell you who owns it.
Well, luckily,
probably, yeah.
One of the guys that we've got working on set is a ex-cop. He knows a bunch of state troopers, and he's also a commissioner for Norwich.
Okay.
So he's got a little bit of clout and some contacts. So he's making sure everything's cleared for us.
Got it. So, well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So, what about you, Paul? Are you enjoying the snow?
I love it. I just love getting out there so I
Shut
can
up,
get
Paul.
my shovel out, and, have to do this stuff and get my feet all wet, and get my ears cold. I just love it.
You do, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Captain Sarcasm.
Yeah. Yeah, way to go. And speaking of Captain Sarcasm, here he is. It's the Plainfield First Selectman, Kevin Cunningham.
What a great intro.
Wow.
Wow.
And I paid for that?
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
You paid for this information, brah. I like that. So what's up, man?
Not much.
How are things?
Well, depends on what things are. Things are going well.
Things are...
Oh, he's going to be that guy again today.
Yeah.
Him? Yeah.
A lot of answers, no words.
Buenos días.
Buenos días, señor.
¿Cómo está usted?
¿Y tú? ¿De dónde está el baño?
Yeah, your bathroom?
Yeah.
Wow.
My daughter, my oldest daughter, one time, Feliz Navidad. She said to me one day, she goes, you know any Spanish? I said, I know a little bit. And she said, well, what do you know? And I said, well, I know one statement. I said, ¿De dónde está el baño? She goes, what does that mean? I said, you're asking where the bathroom is. And she said, oh. And I said, no matter where you are, no matter where you go, if you know where the bathroom is, you're going to be okay. That's it. That's you can always find restaurants and food and stuff like that, but you never ever really know where the bathroom is.
It's the puddle outside the front door.
Yeah, that's if you're in the Philippines.
That's right.
That's if you're in the Philippines. Good morning, Mr. Cunningham. It's nice to see you.
Good morning. How's everybody?
I know you only have a certain amount of time today because you've been very, very busy. Very busy.
Absolutely.
Bringing in business into Plainfield.
And events.
Oh. Tell us about events.
Well, we have one soon to be happening. We have a household hazard waste collection day.
Do you need the card for prompting?
Well, maybe to read some of the things that you can and can't bring, but
all right.
We do have the March 20th. It's supposed to be a 9 to 1 at the Plainfield Highway Department, and this is for Plainfield residents. And there's a list of things that you can bring in. They're trying to suggest things from the household and certain things. I love the red one in the red where certain things you don't bring, like the ammunition or gunpowder, highway or marine flares, freon-bearing white goods, and fireworks. But other than that,
fireworks is probably not good.
Throw some fireworks in there. Let's do it.
Especially when you throw them in the incinerator.
yeah,
So do they have to show proof of residency?
yes.
Roman candle fight.
Damn it.
So Roman candle fights are not happening, right?
Not
right.
not that day.
Madeline Garner says good morning.
Oh, good morning. How are we?
How are you, Maddie? We're waiting. Oh, Maddie will wait for you.
Please stand by.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, if anybody has any questions that they would like to ask Mr. Cunningham respectfully, then we will, of course, read them off to him.
And I will dance around the answer.
He'll dance around the answer. He's getting ready for the State House is what he's doing.
That's it.
I wonder actually how many people don't throw their nail polish remover in the garbage. I wonder how many people don't
I
throw
do.
the
Or
oven,
there's 5-gallon
Yeah.
buckets of it that they want to get rid of.
or
Yeah.
oven cleaners. I bet they throw those in the normal garbage. Toilet bowl cleaners. I bet they throw that in the garbage.
Chris and I were just having that nail polish conversation
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Where do we do with it?
Aerosol
Where does it
cans.
go?
During our manicure.
Mothballs?
Those poor moths.
Rat poison? Wow.
Yeah, we're not going to keep that around.
I can understand the fuel additives and stuff like that. Does make a lot of sense.
So this is an event we haven't had since, oh boy, 2007.
Really?
Yep.
Must be a lot of stuff out there.
So
March 20th.
yes, sir.
Was it something that was being asked by the residents?
Yeah, you really should be doing this on a regular basis anyway. Sometimes there's a couple of towns get together and try to work on it and share the costs.
Yeah.
We just haven't had one in a long time. So that's one item. The other item of news that's recent was we've been working with the local health district and SEMA 4, and we have a testing site now at the Plainfield Senior Center. So we're doing it on
Sweet.
Mondays, Thursdays from 3 to 6, and on Saturdays 12 to 4. Just gonna see how the volume goes, and if we have to add more, we can do that.
Very nice.
You can bring gasoline, it says. Why would I want to give up my gasoline?
Old.
Gasoline.
Oh,
Like when you dump it out of your lawnmower to overwinter your.
Or older. We've had people
Oh,
call up,
really?
so they have it for 5 years. And they don't
really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What do I do with this? Well, hold on. We're going
We
to
should have used it 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Clean
Yeah.
the oil-based paint off your paint brushes.
Yeah.
And light it on
A lot of that, does make sense. A lot of people can't get rid of paints and stuff like that. You know.
I'm one of them. Yeah, I've got like 20 cans of paint in my basement.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And there's no, you really just can't dump them. You really. Is oil on here too?
Motor oil?
I didn't see any oil.
Let's see. What is not accepted? Ammunition, gunpowder,
Oil. I don't see oil.
gunpowder, gunpowder, highway or marine flares, and human parts.
Human
Oh.
parts?
Yeah.
You
You can sell those on Amazon.
You could bring oil though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because this really doesn't say oil, but most people, when they change the oil, where do you bring it? You know, you just can't.
The other
dump it.
thing was questioned already. Can you bring fluorescent bulbs? Usually.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, not supposed to throw it.
Cindy says to you, Chris, me too. I have ungodly amounts of paint.
We should do a mural in town.
We could. They wanted to do a mural.
It depends. I mean, if you open up the can and that first skin layer of paint is still sitting on the top.
Yeah. I've got some that the paint is actually solidified in the bottom of the can. It looks like a hockey puck. So
Yeah. All right. So I know we're joking around a lot, but there really is a lot of things going on in Plainfield.
Uh-oh.
You
There
know,
we go.
there's like the hazardous household hazardous waste collection day. That's once again, it's March 20th. Put it on your calendar, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. At the Highway Department, 1 Unity Drive. So, can you give us an update? Let's move on to something else, like maybe economic development, which is something that is really booming in Plainfield. Some things you can and can't talk about, I understand.
Yes.
Let's talk about the things you can't talk about. Those are the fun ones.
All right.
All right. So, what's coming into Plainfield?
Well, you've probably seen that there's been through the first annual wetlands, and then after that, planning and zoning. Hopefully, this second Tuesday in March will be the final visitation and approval of the Amazon warehouse over off of 137 Lathrop.
Road.
that's going where the old dog track was.
Correct. And that's
Part of it.
Part of it.
Right.
So there's that was actually subdivided to 2 parcels, and at this point, the bottom parcel is where the Amazon, where the dog track was, is where they're anticipating a 202,000 square foot warehouse over there. I would say there'd be about 500 jobs. You've got 2 waves of vehicles going out of 150 each, and plus you've got another wave of vehicles which are privately owned but contracted through Amazon for door-to-door delivery. So that's what
Nice.
they're going to be doing. And then, of course, you've got the staffing that's in the inside for management. You've got the people doing the sorting and prepping up the trucks to go. So it's a good thing for economic development. It brings in jobs available. It also brings up the opportunity for other businesses to tie in with them.
Yep.
And of course, there's the ancillary stuff where you're actually using resources to help people find places to go to eat, local, do your shopping,
Sure.
banking, all those things.
Absolutely.
That's one of them.
Okay. Now there are other things that are going in and around, but it's not really anything you can talk about yet because they haven't been announced publicly. Is
I
that correct?
promise you that I will come to this station to do some announcements for you when they happen.
Good.
Can you give us a ballpark of how many other businesses we're talking about?
There's probably
Now we're talking industry. We're not talking we're not talking, mom and pop shops or something like that.
which are fine. We
Exactly,
definitely
but-
appreciate that. We just had some ribbon cuttings, and we do that on a regular basis now. It's ribbon cuttings. I
Yep.
just got asked by somebody else to come over to their newly opened store, and she says, "I apologize. I opened up a while ago, but I didn't think of reaching out. Letting everybody know that we're here." So I love them because really what you're looking to do is to fill in every empty building and space that you've
Yep.
got, and try to attract more people. And the other things, which when I do announce them, I'll come out to the station and say so. We've got about 3 more opportunities for other warehouses to come in,
Wow.
and different
So-
types of.
Yeah, so lots of job opportunities. Nice.
I think that's great for the region. It
Oh,
really
yeah.
makes it so that you're not going to get all those staffed by local, I mean, by town residents, but it has to be a regional thing.
Oh, absolutely,
yeah.
because
Still get people moving.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So that'll be another boom, which it already is for the housing market. Looking for that. So yeah, those are things that I'm still trying to work on myself, looking to get specific businesses coming into town because I'd like to see things happening. I'd love to have myself. I mean, everybody asks all the time, can we get a bakery again? And I mean, you guys had here a fantastic bakery down the road.
We had ceremonies for years.
Yep.
Yeah.
So those are things that, when we talk about economic development, you have to round that out as to what you're looking for and what could work for you. And then you try to reach out to someone to see if they might be willing to come in.
Now, with the Amazon complex coming in, are you guys planning or are they planning to do road changes at all?
There is a road study being done right now. That was the final step. And they're talking about a little bit of a roadway. If you know where the off-ramp is going down by Big Y,
Mhm.
that section there, we need to work on with the state and also to partner with Amazon to obviously repave a little bit of it, but also
Right.
we're looking to put a sidewalk there.
Nice.
We're looking from McDonald's under the highway and going right in front of and in front of the Amazon area. We talked to them about that briefly, about a little bit of the sidewalk in front of their spot, and they said, sure, we'll have conversations. So I think it's a safe venue to be able to have people walk back and forth in case they need to go to shopping or to and from work.
Yeah.
And don't forget, we just, this past year, we also have the new bus system, which is back in town.
Mhm.
So that helps for transportation as well.
How's that been working out? Are people utilizing the bus system?
With COVID,
Right.
been difficult.
It's
Our
hard
numbers-
to gauge. Yeah.
yeah. Like on those buses, they are blocked off. Half the seats are usable. So, but our numbers were okay with COVID. And so we're going to do a reintroduction or a advertising. I'm going to make sure that I work with John Filchek from NECOG to talk about putting signage up. I know he's going to hold off for a little while, but I'm going to probably see about how much it's going to cost. I might put
Sure.
the bill on that because you want to be able to know where your stop signs are or where you're going to catch the bus.
Sure.
So we'll do that. But the numbers aren't that bad. I mean, it's COVID related. The numbers are starting to come up
And
a
it's
little
still new, so not everybody really knows about it yet.
Yep.
And when they do, because they've been wanting this for a long time. This
Absolutely.
has been 20 years since
Yeah.
since public transportation. 18 to 20 years. Is that correct or
bit.
incorrect?
Probably right around 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So we're working on those things. You can keep the infrastructures up. We're looking at what we could be doing for like every town, looking to start our paving projects early in the spring, get those going. We did have one small bit of upsetting news. It was a matter of we put out for a grant for sidewalks over in Oregon, and we found out we did not receive. There was only 10 towns that did receive monies for that type of projects. So we were not one of them, but that doesn't mean we're not going to stop. We're going to try to put the applications in again. In the meantime, we have a grant writer now.
I was just gonna transition into that.
So we're having our grant writer write up different things for us for the police department, for the town. So he's putting applications in as we speak, and that if we get some of those monies coming in, Even a little bit of it is going to pay for his salary because it's a good trade-off if you can get things that work off of your 5-year capital or other projects that are available, so you can start new programs. Then it's all worth it. So we also have a new recreation director.
Yeah.
And so he's starting to come up with plans for 12 months of the year. What do you do if COVID's still here? What events could you hold? And what do you do if it's not? I know that we all heard the news from the governor the other day about how they're reopening some of the numbers.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's going to help tremendously.
Public events and banquet facilities,
Yep.
and that they're going to be able to reopen and have business.
Yeah, and
come
radio
again.
stations, you know. We can have
We
more
never
people in here.
stopped. We never stopped.
So yeah, that's for exterior. I think it's up to 200 for.
And I want to thank both listeners this morning.
Yeah.
So,
All of them.
all of
All 2 of them.
both of them. Go ahead.
one you have tied up and force them to listen, or and then Madeline.
What do you mean you're not? And then there's Madeline. Yeah.
Yep. So we're looking to see different programs start up again. I thought that it would be a good idea when I first hired this gentleman, Mark, to say, look, put up 12 months of things that are, if we're still in COVID, what we can still do, and things that if everything opens up again, what we can do. So we're talking about the pool already and what we can do to possibly open up the pool and when. We're talking about indoor events, outdoor events. I just got contacted by the Ag Commission. Normally, the Plainfield Ag Commission has an indoor event, and it's huge. It's probably about 400 or 500 people go walk through just alone, and so it's a great opportunity to share what agriculture does in our community. So this year they decided, let's see if we can do it outside. So they're going to push it back instead of March. They're going to put it to May. We have some tentative dates out there. I think it's May. I'll go look at my calendar. May 15th, I think, might be the opening date, and 22nd is a rain date. And when we get more information on that, we'll share that with the public as to exactly how that's going to run. We were talking with the Plainfield Business Association. I got to give them another call and talk to Mr. Phipps. Say, I know you're starting to think about it, but let's really start thinking about having the PBA event, because if we're at 200 outside now, that might work.
Mhm.
We're also talking about the bike night with Leon. I know I got to give you a call back, so I did reach out to the state about that, and so we got our answers already. But bike night is a possibility. We're also talking about how we can possibly do the VJ parade, and I think the numbers are looking better as we go. So those are things that I think are positive outlooks for not just Plainfield, but also the whole region.
The surrounding county, surrounding towns as well. It seems like people are starting to have a little bit more hope.
Yep.
As far as activities starting and businesses opening and new things coming to the area. I don't sense. I don't know, Paul. What do you think? I don't really sense the doom and gloom much anymore. There seems like there's a lot more optimism. And do you think it's based on a lot of the numbers that come out of the state? That we hear it's like what 2%, 1.8. Daily positivity rate, which you got to take with a grain of salt anyway.
Well, I think around here our numbers are really, really good. We still have the bigger numbers in the bigger cities. I mean, that's still.
There's more people.
Well, yeah, there's more
But
people.
what's the percentage? The percentage
I don't
should
know.
probably be the same around. We know it's not. In like down in Stamford.
I know. Right.
But or New Haven.
Right.
But it should be right.
Right. So,
Population density. I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, but I think there's a lot more optimism.
yeah.
You know.
And I think the introduction of the shot is helping too, because I think a lot of the elderly people now are starting to feel a lot more comfortable when they get their shot.
Yeah.
They feel like, well, maybe I can start to do some things now.
I don't know. Are you feeling better?
Paul was in the 95 and over category.
Hey, Paul was 0. He was number 1.
Well, I think that has a lot to do with it.
No, the 3 of us, we haven't received a shot yet.
No.
You know the 3, the 3 of us. Paul has. Paul's got them both. Paul has been vaccinated.
Yeah.
Does he have the tattoo?
He does.
Yes, I do.
I've been vaccinated.
Yeah.
Oh, not that kind of.
Oh no! He's got one that says "Hello, bitches." That's the one. Because that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So Paul does have tattoos, though.
Yes, I do.
I don't want to know.
Unicorn.
I'll pass on that info.
Okay.
He's got one of strawberry shortcake on his shoulder
Oh,
blade.
We're on the radio.
Yeah. Let's see here. Watch this. Rihanna. Hi. We're on the radio.
And now so are you.
And now so are you. She just got another bunny. So 2 new bunnies. So I'm going to
I have recipes.
Sure are good.
Did you hear that?
Sure are good eating.
The first selectman in Plainfield has said he has bunny recipes.
Hassenpfeffer.
Look at her look. Look at the look at her face. What, honey? What were you gonna say?
She's only 8 weeks old. Don't touch my baby.
We can wait.
Fatten it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Ever heard the term braised?
Braised. What radio show or whatever or online show just randomly takes phone calls from their kids
With
and
rabbits.
puts it with rabbits and puts them on the air? We are pioneers.
Trendsetters.
We're pioneers. Or very bored, she says. Honey, can I call you back when we're done?
I guess so.
All right. I love you.
I'm hoping
All right,
he's
bye.
talking to his daughter and not us. So
no, he's not talking to us.
He calls me honey all the time.
I do not. At least not in public.
That's right.
So anyway, Kevin, so a lot of great things happening in the town of Plainfield. I know we keep mainly my fault, taking it off topic and everything. Did you think that when you started running for selectman, and until you took office, did you think it was going to be as busy as it actually is, especially with new industry coming into town?
not as busy. I knew there had to be a lot of work to be done to go out to search for businesses to try to come in.
Yep.
But I think that this has been above and beyond. It's a lot of work, making sure that you try to. Now, I'll phrase it like this: you are doing so many different things that you're just juggling, and more balls come in play, and
Yeah.
before you know it, you're trying to figure out how many are actually, you're working on at the same time. So with the businesses that are coming in or offering to come in or scouting out the town of Plainfield to see what could work for them, you got to keep in mind exactly what's happening, and not forget the projects that you're working on, and not forget definitely not forget the public of what their interests are and what their concerns are, and then you flavor that in with COVID, and there's a lot of things that are happening, and you got to keep juggling. I wish I have a whiteboard that's about that big. I have one at home that's probably bigger than that
Mhm.
banner, and I wish I had the bigger one because there's so many things happening just to keep track of where we are.
Yeah, I mean, I need my whiteboard. I would be completely lost without my
Yep.
whiteboard.
Same here.
And I
Yeah.
didn't think this, in running for the office, how busy it's been. But I got to tell you right now, I'm very appreciative of the fact that it's busy, because it keeps you motivated to do more. So,
Mhm.
yep. If any other businesses want to come to Plainfield, please give me a call, 860-230-3001.
860-230-3001. Chris, what's that number?
I know it
Oh.
started with an 8.
Yeah, it's 900-976 babe.
1-800
Call me.
call me.
860-230-3001. That's the number for Plainfield.
And you can catch me there all the time.
We'll post
'cause
it
I am
out.
there all the time.
So what else is going on? We've covered, we've touched on a bunch of subjects, with new businesses coming to town, large and small. Give us what is one of the companies that just had a ribbon cutting?
Yeah.
Cutting.
Very good.
Precipitation.
Precipitation.
We just had Bubbles Laundromat. They moved from Moose up over to Central Village, so they had a ribbon cutting.
Yeah.
Very good. So they
Nothing like over enunciating.
yeah, really. So we've had a new realtor opened up recently. We had a new barbershop opened up for ribbon cutting. We've had a Longo's Pizza open up, ribbon cutting. Of course, Bubbles. When a business looks to say, look, here I am in a community, it's tough because you got to get your advertising done, and they pay a lot of money for that. But sometimes it's every single avenue you can get to say, here I am, is helpful. And I want to make sure that we help them out as much as we can. If you notice on the town of Plainfield's website, on the front page of the website, there's a list with pictures of the ribbon cuttings. Because I want people to know if, as you go to the website, first thing you should see is, hey, here's our new businesses. And then how do you navigate through? And that reminds me, we're still in the process of building our new website. So I have an email from them today talking about our next steps. So that's another thing happening. It's again, so busy, you got to keep that whiteboard. Otherwise you might forget a few things, but there's a lot happening.
I got a question. I know with the big box guys like Amazon, you guys typically would offer incentives to come into town.
Mhm.
Are there any incentives for the small guys, the mom and pop places?
Yeah. So if hypothetical, if you were to say I'd like to put other things in here, and you're going to do some renovations within it, there's a ordinance 103, talking about how you can apply for, and there's certain steps you have to follow, how you would apply for getting a tax break for a few years because you've done a lot of work to renovate. You should know, I mean, if you're investing all of your money into it, you don't have a lot of outlay to do other things.
Right.
And so we want you to have that business and make sure it grows and that you're happy. And that's part of what Ordinance 103 was years ago, as a mini version of the state enterprise zones. So
Right.
that, by the way, state enterprise zones are grandfathering out. You only have one more left on that. That's it.
Yeah.
So we have that ordinance. We're now talking about at our next Board of Selectmen meeting exactly a modification to, it's a resolution similar to Ordinance 103 that helps them do a discount on their assessment.
Right.
So that is going to help them out. And we want to do that because you see a building that is, half empty and you want to make sure you can see if you can get somebody in there. That's one of the incentives to help them out.
Nice.
We have a detractor. I'm going to put it up on the board here. Paul Shinkowitz Jr.
Mm-hmm.
If you were so worried about the concerns of people in town, you would do something about speeding problems in town, but you do nothing. By the way, nice sweatpants.
He's not wearing sweatpants.
I'm just reading the comment.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Shinkowitz, I've spoken a couple times. We worked on speeding in downtown Moosup. That's his area of concern, as well as all of the rest of the areas of town. And we have had a conversation, actually, few. He's also spoken to the police about that as well. We do care about speeding. We've talked about that with a couple of the trucking companies, and we've made those modifications with them. So we do care about what's going on with the town of Plainfield in regards to safety. And it's a topic we talk about on a regular basis with the police department.
Okay. Did you want to follow that up with anything, Paul? Or Paul Shinkowitz? We're going to make sure that you get an answer to your question and your comment. Dante Xavier, as soon as I figure it out, you're going to be booted from the room and any and all broadcasts. So that is a incredibly rude comment.
About sweatpants?
No.
Okay.
It's just,
I like sweatpants.
yeah. And I will make sure you're booted from every room in the area too. So good luck with that. How many telephone poles have been snapped in half on Main Street and Moosup over the last 3 years?
Well, if you want me to get the answer to that, I can actually contact Eversource because they're the ones that replace them. So I can do that, get that number. There was a few years ago, I know, right in front of, I think, one of the Distinctive Touch hair center, that there was one snap there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that does happen. It's just,
see, here's the thing. I mean, are you personally responsible for speeders and people that reckless drive in the town? And I don't know that, and how do you feel about it?
I feel it's a safety issue. It's
right.
a huge concern. It's nothing I shirk responsibilities on. So we talk about that with the police chief and occasionally at the Board of Police Commissioners, which I've invited Mr. Shinkowitz to go to. But I haven't seen Mr. Shinkowitz there at all. So
Kevin, he goes on to say, I was incorrect about the sweatpants. I was at the wrong angle. Actually, he's wearing leggings. But
it's a good look.
But he does go on to say, but overall, Kevin does a great job for the town. We just need to get the speeding under control. Isn't that something that he could also reach out to maybe Chief Arriaga?
Yes, and he has.
Okay, good.
Again, we'll listen to the concerns of any resident. We'll try to do our best to work on them. Again, it is a responsibility of individuals to try to control their speed, but we're trying to also work with, you know, a speeding. What do they call the radar trap or
Right.
radar signs? Can go only so far. Someone sees that and says, you know what, they want me to slow down for today.
Right.
How do we fix this in the future? And that's a long range discussion you would find in any community.
Now, is this a town-wide issue, or is it limited to certain roads that are notorious for speeders?
So you've got those type of roads. I mean, if you look down here at the end of, we call it the flats.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Route 12.
You said people racing all
Yeah.
the time over there.
Right.
There's certain areas of the town that once you get a straightaway, they think it's good to go.
Yeah.
Well, it's not.
So those roads would be more likely to be patrolled to work give you the biggest impact
Yeah,
for the buck.
we're trying to do our best to patrol all. We
Mhm.
appreciate, by the way, appreciate the input from public of saying that there's an area of concern and we want to know what it is.
Mhm.
And we'll see what we can do to try to make some adjustments to it.
Right.
We have a traffic authority, which is part of the police department, and they will look into and see what they can do to make some changes.
Yep.
So
I think it's basically safety.
yeah,
You
Yeah.
know, I mean, sometimes people need to be protected from themselves.
I think this other issue is the other side of it. Do we know that those things are happening? Absolutely. What can we do about them? We're working on those issues, but it's the responsibility of the individual driver.
Right.
You know,
At some point, people have to be responsible for their own actions.
absolutely.
I mean, it's not just strictly Plainfield.
No, it's
Bristol-
everywhere.
Bristol
No,
has the
no.
same freaking problem. I mean,
Yeah.
we have people go through stop signs and traffic lights here all the time.
This one right here is notorious for it.
Notorious. They'll red light and they'll go right through it.
Yep.
You know, so
And I understand Mr. Shinkowitz's comment about that because Jewett City, you know, not having a police department, you know,
Mhm.
I mean, of course, we have a resident state trooper. But if you go up to the corner of Hill Street and Wilson Street, the four corners right there, people zipping out of there all the time. Now, there's a baseball field right there. So Little League, you know, has all their activities down there. So in the summer and in the spring, there are tons of kids down there. I remember back in when I lived up there, when we owned the house right in the corner of Hill and Wilson, the first selectman here was Phil Anthony.
Mhm.
And I went down there and I told him, I said, Phil, I said, I got to be honest with you. I said, there's nothing but people they're totally ignoring the stop signs. You know, so to align with Paul Shinkowitz, I get it because I don't want to walk out my front door or have my kid walk out the front door and have some crazy idiot zipping up down, going right through a stop sign and then hitting somebody. And you know the answer I got? The answer I got from Phil Anthony was, well, you know, what has to happen is we got to put speed, because I said put speed bumps up. Because, well, then that takes, you know, money away from the highway control. And I'm like, dude, shut up. You know, put something in there and saves the people. What's it going to take? One kid that gets plowed over? Then you're going to go, well, you know, maybe we'll put a speed bump in there or something like that. Zuzu, where's your pedals? You know, I mean, come on now.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. So what I looked at is it legal or not to put speed bumps up? Nope.
It's not.
It's not legal.
No, you can do that in a private gated community area. You could, but it has to have permission by the entire group.
I put one in my driveway.
There's also the issue of, I also looked into how much this is going to cost to put up the camera systems.
Mhm.
So if you wanted to then prosecute by way of catching, there's also some legal issues with that as well. And not only that, but the cost.
Yeah, isn't there privacy issues that
Yeah.
go along with it?
There's also the issue of like cost. The cost alone for those going anywhere from $60,000 to $100,000. If you do the tie-in back to the police department, because now you've got it on recording, well, there's money involved in that because you have to do the storage for it. So it's I looked into these things because I wanted to see what other avenues we have to help stop some of these things.
We're not
So-
sure who put those in. I think the state put those.
Oh, this is a state road, right?
Right. So
It
we
is,
we
yeah.
would assume that the state put those cameras in.
Yeah, you don't have control over that state.
No, the state did that, I believe. So.
Bert,
To go off on a tangent really quick, I just want to say that Phil Anthony sounds a lot like Jimmy Stewart,
Could be.
just so you know.
where the hell is Zuzu's pedals? Zuzu. Clarence, did you get your wings? How about a frickin' speed bump? We don't want to plow any kids over, you know, they'll jump into the river.
Just saying.
Bert Sorrell, one of our business owners
Hey,
here in
Bert.
town. Hey, Bert. Good things some towns have done. Good things that some towns have done is put dummy police cars with no person in the car, and they move them around each day.
We
Each day,
have.
just you've done that too.
We've done
Okay.
that too.
Okay.
Yep.
No.
I thought he was going to say a dummy selectman or something, but
Well, there's a list of
We've
that.
done that too.
and that's it.
And if they don't have cars, instead of selling old police cars, just keep a few.
Just put a junk car out there.
I hear Mike Supernaut's looking for a job.
No.
He's the retired police chief now.
Mhm.
And Captain Ariaga, is there a
There's no
is a
captain
chief
yet.
captain?
They've been interviewing within the department.
Mhm.
So that is going to conclude, and they hope to have an answer by the first week in March.
Are they taking only internal candidates, so they're also looking, or are they looking at external candidates
I
as
think
well?
to begin with, they're doing the internal. Why were
Right.
you looking to apply?
No,
Okay, just
not at all. Not at all.
equal opportunity. That's all.
Nobody would in their right mind, because I'd be putting speed hills up.
Well, he certainly would be visiting
Jeff
Dunkin'
Buford T.
Donuts.
Justice.
He definitely would be
got
at
that
Dunkin'
down
Donuts.
pat, huh?
He'd be the typical cop at Dunkin' Donuts, drinking his coffee and having a donut.
I'm Buford T. Justice.
I will fry your behind.
Anything else you wanna jump on before? Because I know you have to go.
I got a few more minutes.
You want to do something to chump with us?
Oh boy.
Now, last time he was here, he kicked our butts.
Yeah.
So I just want to say that,
So this time I should be quiet to allow someone else to win.
like Mike, he gets upset when he doesn't win.
I wouldn't do that.
And stomp your feet this time.
Yeah. All right. Paul's got Stump the Chump. 10 rapid fire questions. I get to look like a chump yet again. I'm sure. It doesn't take much, but
It's the shirt.
Tell me when you're ready.
you ready, Kevin?
I'm ready.
All right.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
Okay, what does your body use to get rid of salt?
Sweat.
Sweat.
Which
Water.
is water.
Thank you.
Oh, give it to Mike.
What do you call the party that's thrown after a wedding?
Say that again.
What do
Funeral.
you call a What do you call a party that is thrown
Reception?
Reception.
after
Ooh, Kevin.
What's the name of the first atomic powered submarine?
Nautilus.
Studebaker.
Nautilus.
Wow. I'm just going to go in the other room.
And you being an ex-military guy.
I'm not Navy.
And it's right down in
jeez.
Groton, right?
It's right down in Groton there, sport.
What do you call a drink made up of orange juice and vodka?
Screwdriver.
What household item is sometimes thrown over trees on Halloween by kids and teens?
Toilet
alike?
paper.
Toilet paper.
Oh, he's in the lead. He's
I'm
in the
telling
lead.
you.
Yeah.
Who was the founder and chairman of Amazon?
Jeff Bezos.
All right.
You said Jeff. He said Bezos.
So it's a half and a half.
I'll give it to him. I know we're in the running right now.
What agency maintains the U.S. space program?
NASA.
That's what's
Chris got
correct.
that one.
Ooh, I got one.
Which space program?
Space. Oh,
Jeff Bezos.
Which space program?
or could be SpaceX, which could be Elon Musk.
That's a new one. NASA.
I don't know. I'm going to contest
Space
that
Force.
question.
Isn't it Space Force?
Space Force, yeah.
It's the only one I got. Let me have it.
Thunderbirds.
What's the name of the system which check clocks and set ahead an hour?
Atomic.
every- What's the name of the system?
Daylight savings time.
Daylight savings time.
Woo,
Coming
two.
back. You're coming
I got
back.
two.
If you're talking about electricity, what does DC stand for?
Direct current.
Last one. What's red and white striped candy often associated with Christmas?
Candy
Candy
Peppermint.
canes.
What?
Candy canes.
Candy
Yeah.
cane.
Mike got it.
I think I squeaked it out. I have retained my championship.
Had to give him
So
one.
when you give them the
So-
answers ahead of time,
And he still gets them wrong.
Did not. He is
I
lying.
still like my response to partying after a wedding.
Funeral.
A funeral.
That was very good. All right. Kevin, thank you very much, as always, for coming in. Thanks for the donut.
You're
by
the
the way.
man, Kevin.
Yeah, you're always fun. You're always fun to come in. And some people had some great questions and some good comments. I'm glad that you were here to able to talk about those. Now, the next time that you come in, hopefully more Plainfield residents will join us, and they can. That's why you're here. To talk about stuff, answer some questions, concerns. That some residents might have. Good, bad, or indifferent. You're here to answer those. Right. So
Well, next time I'm here, I think we'll be talking about our budget, annual
Yeah,
budget.
that's
yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's coming up.
I gotta say, every time that Kevin's here, I mean, I'm just impressed with all the stuff that you've got going on up there.
Yeah.
Well, it's busy. I like that.
Well, not only that,
We
but
need to emulate some of the things he's doing up there, do them down here.
yeah, I think the town of Plainfield right now needs to be very proud of the direction that the town is going. With, I mean, there are going to be things that people don't like, and you can't stop that. But there is certainly a lot more good than bad that is happening in the town of Plainfield. So.
Just so real quick, I can add a few more that I was thinking of. We have a quarterly meeting with our fire department, police department, and we'll be talking about some safety issues then. I'm sure that issue concerning, the speeding is going to be one of the topics as well. We also have a group of people that want to put some investment into the 2 tanks we have in town. We have some decorative tanks at this point, non-functional, thank goodness. But we have 2 tanks, one in Moosup, one in Plainfield, and those parks are going to be upgraded. I've got some ideas to upgrade them, but there's people that want to paint them. So
You've got people calling up and going, "Hey, you want a tank?"
well, that was years ago, but now it's, hey,
Okay.
can I help to repaint it
Okay.
and redecal it?
There we go.
And so I'm going to be doing something where I'm going to put some of that white chain fencing around the both parks.
Nice.
Proper lighting. We've had some groups from the high school, the kids from the high school, helping to clean up one of the parks. We're going to do both. New benches. So that's one of the projects going on. Then we've got a FOI workshop we'll be coming up with soon for all of the boards and commission members. We're trying to keep them aware of how they can properly run and execute their meetings, and make sure they're all good. So there's other things that we do behind the scenes that happen on a regular basis. So.
And Paul Shinkowitz, I want to let you know, don't worry about spell check, friend. We read typo, so don't worry about it. Whether it's a typo or whether it's a voice text, because instead of moose up, it comes up moose, and then the word up.
Close enough.
It's close enough. We know what you're talking about. That's but yeah, don't worry about that, sir. Everything's all good. A couple of questions, that didn't get mentioned. I'll forward them on to you.
Yep.
So you can handle individually.
Sure.
So if your question or concern didn't get spoken to during this broadcast, Kevin I'll send them over to him so he can get back to you.
And I always invite people to call the town hall and talk, or come in. I'm always willing to, unless there's a meeting going on of some sort that I have, like yesterday was all day contract negotiations.
Yeah.
But if they can come in or schedule some time to come in, that's fine.
Sure.
Or give a call, and I'll give them a call back if I'm busy. So I welcome that. I think it's important to have the ear of the public to try to do the best you can to answer everybody's concerns. Had one the other day, woman was concerned about a tree, and I'm thinking, okay, there's a tree that's close to the road that we can take care of. It's a tree that's further back, and it's a neighbor issue. So I'll see what I can do to try to straighten it out myself, but I can just go so far.
Exactly. Maybe next time, and I don't know if this is something that you can do, but next time you come in, maybe you could
Bring a whole dozen donuts.
Or bagels. Bagels would be good.
Bagels are
Bagels,
good. Yeah, bagels are good.
Muffins.
Paul likes muffins. Maybe the finance director would come with you, and or possibly the board of finance chair.
Tom would love to come down.
Okay, that
Yep.
would be awesome. So
and,
that
and our finance director lives in town
okay.
here.
So there you go, and then that way, we could have a good conversation about budget time.
Mhm.
And I know, will Mr. DiPietro still be?
Yes, this year is his final year of putting a budget together.
So he's crafting the budget right now.
Yep.
So maybe we could have all four, and we can talk and have a budget roundtable for Plainfield.
Yes, if for some of those people, it might be possible to do the dial-in, call-in discussion. That might be helpful.
We can do it remote too.
Yeah.
Like we can also, we can do it at another facility, if needed.
Okay.
But it's easiest to do it right here.
Yeah.
There's going to be some changes in the studio. It's going to get revamped a
Well, I
little
don't know.
bit.
You
So
haven't even taken that down yet.
no, I know I already got yelled at. But yeah, the table's going to be different. The atmosphere is going to be different coming up. If you can see around the walls are kind of bare. So we're going to do different things to make it look a little more homey. And because like if you think about it, Kevin, you're to my right, homie. What up, homie? You're to my right. This is not natural conversation. You know, me looking straight and you over here. You know, so we're going to change that up a little bit.
Okay.
So we can all be more.
So there's gonna be mirrors all
face-to-face.
around.
We're gonna put baby in the corner.
This is not Ronna Pippins, man. Jeez. People are like, what's wrong with Pippins? Anyway, thank you very much, sir.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. Paul,
Anytime.
thank you. As always, we'll see you Monday.
Monday.
Chris, we'll see
Hey.
you whenever. You never know.
I
We'll see
know.
Chris. All right. Once again, thank you very much to the Plainfield First Selectman for coming in, Kevin Cunningham, and discussing what's happening in the town of Plainfield and some news and views. We also want to thank Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank for sponsoring our hour here. That way, we can do stuff like this, and that is Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank. And if you notice on our the overlay here, it shows Eastern Connecticut Savings. Trying to get there. There we go. And they want you to ask, what is Kasasa cash back? Well, if you don't know, go to bankeasternct.com to learn more. Not only that, but we are going to be giving away 5 $100 grocery gift cards.
Sweet.
So, and that is all made possible by the folks at Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank. So, there's one thing you got to do. You got to download our app, download the SNSN app, and the contest will start next week sometime. But make sure you enable notifications. If you don't enable notifications, you won't get the word of the day. So, that's what we're going to do. Get the word of the day, and then we can call in, and when you hear the tone, to win a $100 gift card from Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank for groceries. And honestly, in this day of food insecurity, it's a good thing for
$100
for
goes a
everything.
long way.
It
Word of the
does.
day.
Huh?
The word of the day
Yeah,
is
sorry.
Plainfield.
Where's the duck?
Where's the duck? So don't forget to download the SNSN radio app from Google Play and the iPhone's iTunes store. So, all right. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day, and we will see you once again Monday morning right here on SNSN.
You buy better. Better with Birds. Much better. So much better with Birds. Provide insurance at the right price. You buy better with Birds. You buy better with Birds. You buy better.
When was the last time you considered the benefits of having all your insurance handled in one place? One number to call, a licensed account manager dedicated to your